Ultamize. Most people think their conversation habits are just who they are. I'm just not that interesting. I'm just not good at small talk. I've always been like this. Well, that's not true. You weren't born rambling. You weren't born over explaining. You were trained, not intentionally, but consistently. Let me show you how this happens. From a very early age, you're rewarded for being thorough. In school, if a teacher asks you a question, you don't give a short answer and stop, generally. You explain. You show your thinking. You add the detail. The more thorough your answer, the better. If you wrote a two-sentence answer when someone else wrote a paragraph, that didn't get rewarded. So you learn more detail equals better. Then you move into work. Now it gets reinforced even more. You're in a meeting. Someone asks a question. The person who sounds the most informed, the most detailed, the most comprehensive often gets perceived as the most competent. So again, you learn say more, cover everything, leave nothing out. Now, take that exact behavior and drop it into a casual conversation at a dinner, a party, or a networking event. It doesn't translate very well at all because the rules are completely different. In a conversation, no one is grading you on your completeness. No one's sitting there thinking, I really hope this person gives me a fully structured chronological explanation. They're thinking, do I want to keep listening to this? And here's where it gets even more subtle. You've also been trained by your environment. Think about how many people talk around you every day. Turn on a podcast, scroll through videos, listen to interviews. What do you hear? Long answers. People talking over each other, people telling extended stories, people filling every gap with more words. You could say, I'm guilty of that right now, but this is not an actual conversation. So it's different. So even when you're not aware of it, you absorb the pattern. You start to think, this is what's normal. This is what normal conversation sounds like. Now, layer one more thing on top of that technology. You're used to constant stimulation, constant input, constant distraction. You check your phone while someone else is talking. You glance away. You split your attention. And again, you don't think anything of it because, well, it's normal. But from the other person's perspective, it completely changes how the conversation feels. They feel slightly ignored, slightly unimportant, slightly disconnected, even if you didn't mean it that way at all. So now you have all of these forces working together. School teaching you to over explain, work teaching you to be thorough, media reinforcing long form talking, technology fragmenting your attention, and then you step into a simple conversation and you wonder why people drift. It's not because you're bad at conversation. It's because you're applying the wrong lessons in the wrong setting. Very important for me to stress. We're not trying to make you someone else or someone you're not. We're not trying to give you clever lines or scripts. We're going to change the patterns you've been trained to follow so that in real conversations, without thinking about it, you naturally say less. Now, you still talk. You're not just a journalist here. You're having a conversation, but you're not saying quite as much. You leave space for the other person. You stay focused and let the other person come toward you. Because once that happens, you stop chasing attention and people start giving it to you.